Morning, everybody. How's it going? Very nice March day. Is March 29th, as said on the placard, and we are going to be working on this today. This is my RC Jeep that I purchased off of eBay. We're going to be working on it today, and so a couple of things about it. Let me sit down here. This is my Jeep. Woe is me, because the winch is broken. I purchased this new off of eBay, and it came pre-assembled with the winch on it. The problem with that is, even in the instructions and the numerous videos that I've read, you're supposed to attach the winch after you receive the item. It gives you a diagram and everything. Well, mine came pre-assembled, so once in a while they do that in manufacturing, where they switch up stuff and everything. So I guess maybe they were they're switching up everything so that you don't have to put it on and everything. But one of the other reasons I think it was done by the manufacturer is that under here, inside, you see these wiring harnesses, or the wiring organizers, black ones that go through and everything, down to here and into the board. I've traced the wire, and it goes into one of those wiring organizers back to the board. So, like I said, it came pre-assembled. It came with the wires and the organizer, so I'm guessing this is done at the manufacturer, I guess. I'm in conference with them right now, trying to get a new one, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I'm waiting. They're in China, and they're a day ahead of us, I guess. I don't know. Time change, I don't know. But they're ahead, so I'm waiting to hear back from them. At the same time, this is a World War II Jeep, and World War II Jeeps did not have winches on them, especially a winch that looks as modern as this one. Now, let me talk about this. The Jeep did not have winches. I've seen numerous historical photos of them just having a rope tied around the front bumper, and they would just tie that off if they had to pull themselves out or something. Most vehicles during World War II did not have. There was no electrical winches. It was a mechanical thing. So here's a deuce and a half that I made. So you got the engine and everything, and you have multiple stick shifts to control gears and everything. Oh, that's breaking off again. I gotta fix that. So here's your transmission and engine. It goes back to this transfer case, and then it goes to here. Excuse me. It goes to here in the transfer case, and it goes back up to the winch. So when you actuate one of those levers when you're driving, it will turn on and off the winch and everything. So that's how World War II vehicles, American ones, had their winches installed, and that's mostly on large vehicles, half tracks, deuce and a halves. I've seen some recon cars even have them, but like I said, it's mechanical. You work a lever in the driver's seat, and it turns on, and that works the winch. It's not electrical. That, as far as I know, is how it is. So, but like I said, this winch is broken, so I need to remove it for, not only because I have to remove it because it's broken, but it's historically accurate not to have one. In this Jeep, I'm trying to go for kind of a historic feel or something. You guys are going to see, I got a lot more stuff to add on to this, but first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the winch. So, very, very simple kind of thing. Well, kind of. I actually have, since it's in that wire guide, the wire organizer, I have to take the lower chassis loose from this. Yeah, gotta do that. So, I'm going to go ahead, remove this here, then take the chassis loose, then pull the wire out through that organizer. Probably mostly going to be a time lapse. I'm not exactly sure, because you got to take these loose first. These bolts come off first and everything. So, give me a second. Let me fix that mirror on that deuce and a half and get that out of the way, and we'll get going. Okay, so that is back. We are about to start taking this thing apart. Oop. There's that. I'm going to take this off. This is the piece for the root. Okay. Let's take this loose. I'll get you guys a good vantage point. I'm utilizing that little tray that came with the gem kit. From my last episode, you guys can go see that in the description. Everything on this Jeep works, it's just the winch doesn't work for some reason. Like I said, I bought this new off of eBay, and I went to try it out, and everything worked except for that. Now a lot of you are probably going to be like, well, why don't you just return it? Well, in that week, it took about a week for it to get here to me. And during that time, I had purchased other items. I'll pull this off first. Yeah. Come out. There you go. I purchased other items and made up other items I want to go with this Jeep. So that's why I'm not returning this. That's how it's supposed to be. You guys are going to see those items in this video a little bit later on. Got my diamond holder. These things are... I love this tool. I just wish they had a version of it that was like another 3 inches. 2-3 inches longer. They don't, though. At least I don't think they do. I can't find any. I've looked it up. Another thing I got fixed on this is that the actual gear shift came, and either I broke it or it came broke. I'm not exactly sure. I can glue that back on though. That's really easy. Okay, so we're going to remove the chassis. Yes, this has an actual working leaf springs and everything. So we're going to be removing the chassis piece. So that's screw there and there, and then screw down here. I don't know if you guys can see that down there, and one right there. Okay, that's what we're doing now. I'm also gonna, I want to show you this too. There's the motherboard right here. Black and white, black and red wire going to this white connection here. That's where that goes in. It says in the instructions. So I'm actually going to take that loose really fast, very carefully. Very carefully. Pull that loose. I don't want to pull the whole housing off. Just that. Come on. There we go. Alright, so that's loose. That's off. So now we gotta take that screw, and that screw out. And the chassis come off. I can get to this wiring harness because, like I said, this is in the wiring organizer. So in order to pull this loose, I have to remove this. Lay it back down. Put So there you go. The chassis is off. And this is wound inside of this, right into this. So I have to unwind carefully and remove it. And sometimes manufacturers switch up their production for different reasons. Like maybe they were getting too many calls about people getting this and they were breaking the winches, so they had to send out more winches and everything. So maybe they started putting the winches on at the assembly line to keep people from breaking them. I don't know. Maybe. Like I said, this is just the instructions, guys. It's all the instructions. So yeah, of course that's still going to be in there about how you have to assemble it, unless they switch it up and everything, which I don't think they would do. Okay, come on. Okay, there you go. That's all back together. Now we can put this back on. Very simple, very easy. So one thing you gotta watch is this here arm goes into the servo arm right here. So let me see. I don't know if you guys can see them or not. It's kind of dark. But in. This goes underneath. Okay, guys. So chassis is reestablished. This over here. Plug the battery in. Make sure everything's working. Get off. Now let's put this in. On switch. Lights are working. It's trying to pair on. There you go. Let me flip this over and show you guys. This is 4-wheel drive, yeah. Works just like a real Jeep too, 4-wheel drive. You got transfer case with motors in it that run to the front and rear differentials, which turn the wheels, yeah. There you go. I've got to fix the gear shift, which is right here. So you got 3 shifters here. You got the gear shift for forwards, backwards, first gear, second gear, and I think third gear. I don't know. First, second, and third. I'm not sure if there's a fourth. I don't think there's a fourth gear. And then this here, these gear shifts are high and low. And so this gear shift is high and low, 4-wheel drive, and this one here engages the 2-wheel and the 4-wheel drive. Right down here. I've got to glue that stick shift back on so I can change gears. And actually, so if you watch the here and here. Oh my god. Wrong thing, Ben. The wheels turn and the steering wheel turns. So that works great. I've got to glue that back on, and then we are going to, so let me turn this off. Trying to pair again, it's off. There you go. The lights work too, so like when you turn to the right, this one will go off, front and back. Turn to the left, that one, and this one will go off. So that's that. We're going to glue that back on, and then we're going to get to the accessories that I've 3D printed. Got them over here off corner, I don't want to show you them yet. I will go into something though real fast. I am a fan of cinema and movies and TV shows, and I'm a World War II buff and everything, so I try to go for historic accuracy. But at the same time, every once in a while, It's very, I won't say this. A little bit of Sprite in there. And this guy is going to go right there. Let that sit for a second. And it's been reattached. There you go. I might put a little bit of Dava glue back in there, but in a second. I'm sorry. So, I love, like everybody, love TV shows and everything. I love old TV shows. And one of the TV shows that I love to watch is the TV show Combat. It's on H&I on Saturday nights. I watch Combat. I've watched The Rat Patrol, Tour of Duty. I try to catch Blah Blah Black Sheep every once in a while. I'd like to try and watch 12 o'clock high, but it's on at like midnight and everything, and my work schedule, I'm up at 6. I'm usually in bed at like 11, so that I can't make it. I'm sorry, I can't do it. But like I said, I love the TV show Combat. It used to be, so you had Baba Black Sheep on, then you had 2 episodes of Tour of Duty, then you had 2 episodes of Combat, and then it went into 12 o'clock high. And they've switched it up now to where you only get 1 episode of Combat, which kind of makes me... They switched it with Garrison Guerrillas, which is it reminds me a lot of the A-Team, but it's an actual World War II, so I don't know how you want to... I don't know how to explain that, but this Jeep here, I'm modeling after an episode in Combat. It's, what was that episode? It was Vendetta. It's season 2, episode 3, called Vendetta. The guest star in this episode was Tully Salvez, I think. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. Savalas. Yeah, Tully Savalas. He played Kojak. He was in, he played Guffy in Battle of the Bulge. I know, full of inaccuracies, but I don't know. I don't like it. Well, I did like it, but let's move on. He also he was in The Dirty Dozen, so yeah, he big star and everything in multiple TV and movies and everything. He was in an episode of Combat called Vendetta. He played a Greek colonel who was detached to either English or French and everything. But he had these Jeeps, just like this and everything. And he had them mounted with 50 cals, which I've 3D printed a 50 cal. And he has, on the side, the passenger side, a 30 cal. Browning 1919 30 cal. So yeah, I've got those. Let me move over here so you guys can see some of the stuff I've 3D printed for this. Yeah, so this is the tarp that came with it. I made this up last night, just some knots in it, because like I said at the beginning, this is what they would tie these along the front bumper of the Jeep for towing stuff. I've made these up last night, and then I realized I really need to practice my fishing knots because I suck at them. So that's for the 50 cal. I got some jerry cans. I figured this Jeep is made for reconnaissance and behind enemy line stuff, so I was like, let's make him a radio. So they got radio, ammo boxes, because you gotta do that. And then you got these for the 50 cal. This is the stand for the 30 cal. This goes with the 50 cal, 30 cal. So let's leave that out a little bit for you guys. This here is a, let me see if I have any. This here is just a wood dowel from some foam brushes that I have. So I just decided to take, let me see, I got it here. Give me 1 second. Foam brush dowel, yeah. Whenever I'm done using one, I break these off. I use them for different things, so yeah. That's what that is. This here is another just wood dowel I have. Sorry guys, I'm out of frame. Just another wood dowel. That's what that is. This 50 cal is, back up a little bit. 50 cal is based off of a toy that I have. It's a G.I. Joe 50 cal. It's on one of the hiss snakes and everything. Cobra's hiss snakes. Hence why this here, you got kind of the Cobra symbol. I scraped it off and everything because I didn't need it. But let me see. This goes into there, kind of like that. There you go. So yeah, we're going to be attaching these. I made a shotgun. There's a little teaser for you. That's the next step in this. So yeah, we're going to start adding these parts to it. So let me back you up. Because there's a hole right here for a mount and everything. So that's actually accurate. The Willys Jeep usually had a 30 cal right here. On rare occasions, they might have a 50 because it was usually thought to be too big and everything. Plus, with the 50 here, here's the driver. They have an ammo box right here, and if they had to swing over here, they would hit the guy in the head and everything. Whereas the 30 cal sit right here. They usually just had a bandolier or a belt. Everything, so if it hit you in the head, it wasn't as bad. Yeah, so we're gonna get into that. Let me take this here like this. Yeah, 50 cals weren't standard necessarily on these Jeeps. It was usually a 30 cal, but every once in a while you might see something. It's rare, I've seen, but you can find them. You can find them. So I'm gonna put it. So there's the hole right there. That goes right there. So we're gonna put that. Another fact that I've heard, but I'm not exactly sure, is that these Jeeps are what inspired the Jeeps from inspired the TV show Rat Patrol. Was this this episode? I don't know if that's true or not. There we go. Okay, so that's in place, and this is. Oops, that's gonna go right here, just like that, and you got a 50 cal. Okay, now we're going to add the 30 cal, which they had on the side here. This is the passenger shotgun side, and I have seen photos where they did do this and everything. Let's see now. Yeah, I've even seen pictures where they've had guns mounted here, so when you're sitting forward, you have a gun. Come on, come on. Okay, so that's there. This here is the mount for the 30 cal. It's literally just a 50 cal, and I scaled it down. I made these in Messier I, like I said, from pictures and everything, and then I just, once the Jeep got here, I was able to scale them and everything. So I think I got them scaled pretty good. And then here's the 30 cal. It's gonna go right here. So yeah, British SAS Jeeps were tricked out with stuff because they had to go long distance across thousands of miles and everything in North Africa, and they were in Italy and France and everything. So they were tricked out with machine guns, water and food. They needed contact commands, or they had a radio. So all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So let all these kind of sit around and everything. I gotta figure that out. I'm not exactly sure how these all are gonna be positioned. I need to go in and finish working on this because I'm gonna paint the antenna and all these little gauges down here. So that's gonna be something I gotta do. Well, that's later. That's there. I made these jerry cans and I based them off of this jerry can that came with the Jeep and everything, kind of. I mean, this is a picture that I got off of Google, and then I scaled it and everything. And I got it pretty close. It's thicker. This is thicker than that one, so it will not fit down in this. Plus, this one has keys that sit down in there, and it'll key in and lock in. Let me take this all out right now, because we're gonna get on to the next one. So, like, this was here, tied down and everything. Next part of the build, which I think a lot of you guys are gonna like, is that well, let me put this on here. I know I keep going back and forth. So they literally just tied. They had a thicker rope and everything, but I just got a piece of string. They just usually tie this up like this, and then they would have a tow rope. That's how pictures and what I've been told they did, instead of having a winch. Should have made it a little bit longer, but that's okay. Yeah, I tied these last night. I need to practice my fishing knots, because I had a hard time doing that last night. Okay, there's that, like that. Okay. Next part of the build, which you guys are gonna like, I think, is I need some figures to go with this. Excuse me. I need some figures to go with this. So this is 1/10 scale, and I couldn't find any like 1/10 scale figures, but I am in depth with 1/12 scale. And for those of you who have seen some of my, I keep teasing about it, and I've done one video. I got plenty more to come, but I've done action figure modifications. So when I've gone up to the toy department, I found some action figures, some 1/12 scale action figures. These are the Marvel Legends and everything. So, the toy department. Put a link in the description. Go check them out. These guys are awesome. Hi, James. I purchased Captain America and Peggy Carter here from them. And then I purchased... I'm gonna probably get some flack for this, because I didn't just purchase all these from them. That's from the toy department. I purchased this guy from eBay. I was gonna do a Dum Dum Dugan, but when I was parting out all the stuff on eBay and looking around for parts to make him, I found this guy, and it was just cheaper just as cheap to buy this figure than it was to make him and everything. And this is exactly what I wanted to do. So that's actually what the shotgun goes with. Yeah, I think that shotgun's a little bit small, so I might remake it. I do not know. And then I purchased these two Wolverines, because there's two... Well, I want Wolverine, World War II Wolverine. But also, who's another Marvel hero who served during World War II? I'll give you a second to think about it. I'll tell you who. Nick Fury. Yeah. Nick Fury's Howling Commandos, who is where Dum Dum got his start. I know they worked the Howling Commandos into Captain America and everything, which was, I think, was pretty cool what they did there. But yeah, we're gonna have a Nick Fury, we're gonna have a Dum Dum Dugan, we're gonna have a Captain America. This is the early Captain America from in the film, when he goes to save the 107th guys, Bucky and them all from Hydra. let me get this. I really like that one. I do want a later one from that film. So like the actual costume that he wore in that, and then wore in what was Winter Soldier. I'm sorry. So yeah, there's Nick Fury's head. I got a bunch of heads. I bought all of these. It was cheaper just to buy these heads than it was to buy. So I bought all these heads. Oop, I'm dropping them. I dropped them. I bought 6 heads for $20, whereas one guy was selling just Nick's head, and he wanted $9 for it. So it was cheaper for me to go and buy 6 heads than it was to buy just one. So I went and did that. Okay, so that's that. We're gonna get the Wolverines out in a second. Let me find that other head, and then we will find that other head, and I will get back to you. Alright guys, so I took a second. I got the Wolverines out of their box. These are the Marvel Legends Wolverine, World War II Wolverines. Come with, you got Thompson for each, you got a satchel for each, you got a knife for each. They come with sets of claws, which, funny story, so like if you think about it, Wolverine did not have metal claws back during World War II when he was working with Cap and everything. Because if you watch X-Men, or the X-Men animated series, him and Cap team up and fight during World War II together and everything. But he's supposed to have his bone claws. That's what it has. But the writers came up with an idea to where he forgot he had claws at all, so he made these claws out of steel, and he attached them to this webbing here that he ties onto his hands and everything, and he uses them for climbing. So I think it's a little bit weak, but that's what it is. These figures actually also come with a Elvis Presley head. No, it's not really Elvis Presley, but I can guarantee that hairdo is not regulation. World War II regulation. But we're gonna modify these a little bit. We're going to be putting, well, actually, we're only modifying one, because I want to have a Nick Fury, World War II Howling Commandos Nick Fury. So we're simply gonna take his head off. They come off, guys. He's got extra heads, so they can do that. And we're gonna put Nick Fury's head on. And now you have a Nick Fury from World War II. Yeah, and he also has the shield and everything. That's cool. He was a sergeant, or no. Yeah, sergeant. He was a sergeant during World War II, and supposedly he lost his eye from either a grenade or a millennium. I can't exactly remember. I have it upstairs. I just need to go back and reread it. So I need to probably come up with some stripes for him. Yeah. Let's see now. What else do I have? I got a knife. I'm going to put in his boot. Why? Because you got a knife in your boot. Y'all remember that SNL skit? Alright, so there's that. There's that. You get Thompson. Actually, let me put this over you somehow. Take this head off. Go on this side, because that's his ammo bag on that side. Where's Thompson? Oh! His body came apart. Interesting. Just want to show you guys this real fast, because that was not supposed to happen. That's how it is, right there. Ball in the joint. So there's blouse, or the bottom of his jacket. And that goes like that. Just puts in there. Wow. Okay. That was easy. Hopefully Peggy's that like that too. I say that because, guys, I'm gonna tease you right now. I don't know if I'm actually gonna do it or not. Let's do that real fast. So this is the Peggy card you get with the Captain America 2-pack. Peggy's a badass. don't get me. She's a badass. I don't want her in, even though she did have a scene where she was fighting Hydra in that blouse and everything. It wasn't when she was with Cap like this and everything. So I wanted Peggy Carter at the end of Captain America, First Avenger, where she's wearing the leather jacket and they're either black or they're dark blue pants, and she's holding a Thompson submachine gun. Everything. That's what I want. I didn't want Peggy. Come on, get in there. I don't want Peggy, like, Secretary Peggy, even though she's cool and everything. Don't get me wrong. But I wanted to be able to put Peggy in with this, and she cannot sit down because of her skirt. So I'm thinking of switching, getting a Captain Carter, and taking the legs from Captain Carter and putting it on the bottom, putting it on this. I don't know yet. I'm thinking about it. There's a lot to think about when it comes to that, because like I could just do Captain Carter at the same time. I don't necessarily want a Captain Carter. I mean, I'm okay with getting one, but Peggy didn't need the super serum. She didn't need the shield to be a badass. She showed it in, the Avenger, in the first Captain America film, that she could be a badass. She didn't need the shield, and she didn't need the serum. No, she could kick ass on her own and everything. Even though I'm don't get me wrong, guys. The What If series is awesome. I enjoyed it a lot and everything, but she was fine. I enjoyed watching. I enjoyed her in the Captain America film. I enjoyed the Peggy Carter series and everything. I just wish. I'd say they put so much into giving people superhuman abilities when you can be a badass and just be human. Yeah. Peggy has showed us at the end of that movie. She rocked a Thompson submachine gun. She's rocking pants, which back then apparently that was kind of taboo and everything. Nobody really did it. Nobody really wanted it, but she could do it. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. There's a bit of a rant there. But, so we're gonna have this. Like, there's Sergeant Fury. And then we got... I'm gonna put that down here. I'm gonna give Dum Dum this shotgun that I made, because I saw like I said, a lot of this is coming from the Captain America film. They gave him a shotgun in it. I was like, that's just badass. Whereas, it broke. Okay, you're getting a Thompson. They gave, what did I say? In the comic books, he had a Thompson. Everybody carried a Thompson or M1. And in the Captain America film, they gave him a shotgun. I was just like, that's awesome. So Cap's gonna be driving this Jeep. We're gonna have Nick Fury riding shotgun. Come on, get in there. Don't break off that. There we go. Nick's riding a shotgun. He'd probably be manning the 30 cal. We're gonna give Wolverine the 50 because, well, why not? He's angry all the time. I think he deserves to let off some steam. And I broke that shotgun, so we're gonna give Dum Dum the other Thompson. I need to switch these arms. They don't have holding arms for Dum Dum. Oh, that's weird. There you go. Oh yeah, Captain came with a Thompson too, so I got 3 Thompsons. So I'm gonna put that there, and I'm gonna give. Oh no, I fell off. Wolverine's gonna be manning the 50 because he's angry. He wants to destroy some stuff. Maybe he sees Omega Red. gotta work them kind of. Let's get Dum Dum out of there right now. Let's put your hands on 50 if possible. Please work. So here we go. Here we are, guys. We have finally finished the build. I really appreciate you guys sitting through my ramblings and watching this with me, or helping follow me along the way and everything. So thank you. I really enjoyed it. It pulled together different aspects of me and stuff that I like action figures and RC, TV, and movies, and everything. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching. So yeah, let's show you the final result right here. There you go. So we've got Nick Fury up front on the 30 cal. His Thompson fell down in there just minutes ago. I just haven't dug it out yet. We've got Dum Dum back here. He's got a shotgun and a Thompson. We've got Wolverine back here, pissed off. Man in the 50 cal. You might have seen Omega Red and was like, "You're done." Got Captain America here. This is the early Captain America from in the first Avenger film. This is early Shield. This comes in a 2-pack with Peggy Carter. It comes with a Thompson. It comes with this shield. It comes with a vibranium shield. It comes with a knife and a 1911 45. Yeah, that's what that is. Dum Dum is a his body is a Nick Fury that was released with in a 2-pack with the Punisher. So someone swapped out his head for Dum Dums, because there is a Dum Dum Dugan out there in a more futuristic Shield outfit and everything. So they just took that head and they put it onto this this Nick Fury body and everything. And then Fury, of course, I wanted to go with the World War II variant of where he was a sergeant in the Howling Commandos. So I simply took a Wolverine from World War II and stuck his head on there. I might go in and do chevrons on him because he's a sergeant, not colonel. That's the idea. The Jeep. Here's the winch that is faulty. Like I said, I'm in conference with the manufacturers about this, but even if I don't get one, it's okay. This Jeep retails for like $60-$70. I got it for $50 off of eBay. Just a little bit dickering. Yeah. There's a video about the Jeep and how it got started and all that I'm gonna put in the description. I think you guys might watch if you're Jeep lovers like I am and everything, because it goes into how it was created and the specifications and everything for it, and then it goes into how it turned into a civilian Jeep and everything, and turned into what we have today, actually. So yeah, I'm gonna put that. That's a YouTube video. I'm gonna put in the description for you guys so you guys can go see that. I enjoyed it. I think you guys might enjoy it. So it's the evolution of the Jeep, and according to the video, turn your back here. According to the video, the Jeep was designated as a general purpose vehicle. So that is why they took the G and the P and called it Jeep. My question is, Jeep is spelled with a J. So where does that add in? I do not know if anybody understands what happened there. I mean, I know when you say Jeep, it's weird. I don't understand it. And go watch the video. It will say in the video that that's what they did. So you guys might know more than I do. I do not know. I've studied these for years. I would love to see a real Willys Jeep and everything, but I don't know. Somewhere down the road, might see that. Might make a video about seeing it. I don't know. If I could drive a Willys Jeep, I would probably die from happiness. I mean, I probably could, because I worked at my uncle's auto body shop for a while, and that's where I learned to drive a stick shift, so I could probably do it. But yeah, that's me just geeking out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. Please like and subscribe and comment. Of course, comment. I want to hear about what you guys are building. I want to hear about methods and materials that you guys are using to make things. I want this to become a place where people can exchange information and instructions and feel safe doing that and everything. So yes, please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you very much. I will see you guys later.